Ben bolted out of sleep, halfway to his feet before he realised he was awake. What was that noise? Something was wrong. He could feel it, pressing under his breastbone. He thought he dreamed of a subterranean groan. Felt again the rush of sticky, rebreathed air, and then the smoke. God! The smoke pouring through the shattered windows of the train. But this was his bedroom. Look, there. The alarm clock cast a faint green light on the claret duvet and gold silk coverlet, familiar as closed velvet curtains and his suit trousers hanging on the back of the bedroom door. 3:14 a.m. His breathing calmed slowly. Was that what had woken him? Just another flashback? Or could there be an intruder downstairs? Tiptoeing to the wardrobe, he eased open the mirrored door, slipped on his dressing gown and belted it, picking up the cricket bat that nestled among his shoes. The closed door showed him his determined scowl, not very convincing on a face that looked as nervous and skinny as a whippet's. Licking his lips, weapon raised, he seized the handle of his bedroom door, eased it down, and the sound came again. All the doors in the house fluttered against their frames. The ground beneath him groaned, tiles on the roof above shifting with a ceramic clatter. A crash in the bathroom as the toothbrush holder fell into the sink. He jumped, crying out with revulsion, when the floor shuddered and the carpet rippled beneath his bare feet as if stuffed with snakes. Earthquake! An earthquake in Bakewell, home of well dressing and famous for its pudding? The sheer ludicrousness of the idea flashed through his mind even as he raced down the stairs. What did you do in an earthquake? Stand under a door lintel, wasn't it? As he reached the living room, it happened again. He clutched at the back of the sofa while the entire house raised itself into the air and fell jarringly down with an impact that threw him against the wall. Bricks moving beneath his fingers, he pulled himself along the still-drying wallpaper into the hall, flung open the front door. There was blackness outside. The street lamps all guttered out. And silence, a silence so profound that the pressure began again in his throat. It was so much like being buried alive. As he strained his ears for something friendly, a barking dog, a car alarm, a wind drove up from the Y, filling his ears with whispering. No stars shone above, but in the neighbours' windows he could see something silver reflected, something that moved with liquid grace. No way! The curve of a horse's neck, traced in quicksilver, reflected in a driving mirror. A stamping hoof drawn out of lines of living frost and spider's web splashed in a puddle. Drops spattered cold over his bare ankles. Coming up from the river, across the bridge, up the sleeping suburban street they rode. Knights and ladies, glimmering insubstantial shreds of banners, floated above them like icy mist. Harps in their hands, hawks on their fists, and now he could hear the music. It was faint, far away, wrong as the feeling that had driven him out of bed, alien and beautiful as the moons of Saturn. No way! He clapped both hands over his mouth, but it was too late. The words were out, full of blood and earth and inappropriate human coarseness. Their heads turned. He caught a glimpse of armour, shadows and silver as one of the knights reined in his horse, glided close, bending down. The creature smelled of cool night air. Its inky gaze raked over Ben from head to toe like being gently stroked with the leaves of nettles. A million tiny electric shocks. His skin crawled with the prickle of it, ecstatic and unbearable, and he gasped, held on the point of a pin between violent denial and wanting him to do more. Long platinum hair slid forward over a face drawn in strokes of starlight. Which eye do you see me with? I, croaked Ben, his mouth desiccated, his lungs labouring. What? Something in the garden, something huge, covered in spikes, lifted up the house, foundations and all, and shook it like a child's toy. Fuck. Terror goaded him into action. Lurching back into the hall, Ben slammed the door, locked it, shut the bolts top and bottom, fumbled the chain into his slide, and reached for the phone. 999 got him a brisk, polite young woman saying, "What service, please?" Outside, crystalline laughter tinkled in the starless night. The walls flexed like a sheet of rubber. "Police, please, I think I'm being attacked by fairies." And everything went quiet. Down the street, a burglar alarm brayed into the night. He opened the door a crack to see the streetlights shining vulgar yellow-orange over a score of double-parked cars. There was, of course, no evidence the creatures he'd seen had ever been there at all. He took a deep breath, decided against setting himself up for a charge of wasting police time, and let it out in surrender. Never mind.